Like the title says, I'm a dog sitter. A couple of weeks ago, I was staying at a house for the very first time on short notice. I usually turn people down for last-minute stuff, if I'm even available. But this couple is long-term family friends, so I felt a little bit obligated. It was going to be an easy job anyway. They have a 12-year-old English bulldog named Winston. Dude's the epitome of laziness. Only dog I've ever met that had to be pushed to go on a walk. No special needs or anything. The only thing they mentioned was that for the past couple of months, he'd whine incessantly if you didn't let him sleep in the bedroom corner in his crate. 12 years is plenty of time for a dog to get neurotic. Anyways, I show up to the house for my stay. Winston doesn't even bother to get off the couch. He just looks at me like I've interrupted nap time. The only thing of note is the ridiculous number of ugly antiques decorating the place. You know how modern house design tends to feel pretty open and spacious? This was one of those old people houses that has a family heirloom shoved into every possible corner. Which, of course, made the house smell musty. I quickly unloaded my bags in the downstairs bedroom and spent the rest of the day hanging out on the couch with Winston. When it came time for bed, he was very well behaved and instantly walked into his crate. He was passed out the second I closed its gate. I woke up during the night to what sounded like metal on metal. I'm a total scaredy cat, so I just lay there completely frozen, ears straining to hear something more than my aggressive heartbeat. When the heater turned on, maybe 30 seconds later, I was able to quickly fall back asleep, convinced it was nothing. I did wake up once again, what felt like a few hours later. It was that same metal sliding noise, but in the opposite direction, if that makes sense. Since the heat went off just a little bit later, I became quite comfortable about the source of the noise. This happened every night of my stay. I made sure that the heat was turned off before I went to bed, but since it kept turning itself on and I kept waking up to that same noise, I figured they had it on some automatic program. Being elderly, they probably got cold at night. The last day of my stay was when my perspective on the whole situation did a complete 180. I packed my things back into my car and had to take Winston for his walk before heading off. When I went to put the leash on him, however, the stupid clip snapped, and the leash itself was too thick to knot through the hole in his collar. I knew I had an extra leash back at my place, but I really didn't feel like making a round trip just for that. So I gave a call to the owners. They said that they had a bunch of old dog stuff in the attic, and started to apologize for the trouble and hassle on my end. What I expected was for them to tell me that I didn't have to go on the walk, but the heavy silence as I waited for them to say so made it clear that they actually intended me to get a leash from the attic. You've got to be kidding me. So, despite my natural aversion to attics, basements, creepy situations, I somehow convinced myself that it was worth it just to save a little time in my day. I headed up the stairs and quickly spotted the chain hanging down from the hallway ceiling. I slowly pulled it down and felt my stomach sink to my feet. I heard the now very familiar noise of metal on metal as the ladder slid itself down to the floor. Fuck Winston, fuck his walk. I ran as fast as I could, half falling down the stairs on my way out the door, jumped into my car, and sped off, shaking. It was quite a few hours later that I got a call from the owners, just to let me know that they'd gotten home safe. I spent most of the day convincing myself my mind was playing tricks on me, but that all went out the door. I apologized to them, saying that I thought I'd forgotten to close the attic before leaving. Their kind reassurances that I'd indeed remembered to close it were anything but comforting.